I'd like to thank one of my subscribers, JG, for this article. The fertility rate, y'all, is still dropping worldwide. So this came out on CNBC July 15th, 2020. Falling fertility rates to trigger major shifts in economic power, research predicts. Declining fertility rates will likely mean almost every country has shrinking populations by the end of the century, according to a new study triggering major shifts in global economic power. A new report in the peer review medical journal, The Lancet, published Tuesday, expects the global population to peak at 9.7 billion by the end of 2064, with the number of people across the globe forecast to fall back to 8.8 billion by 2021. The analysis says that improvements in access to modern contraceptive and education of girls and women could underpin widespread and sustained declines in global fertility. It means that in the absence of liberal immigration policies, 183 to 195 countries on the planet will not be able to maintain current populations by the end of the century. Populations in 23 countries, including Japan, Thailand, Italy, and Spain, are forecast to see their respective population shrink by more than half, while other 34 countries, including China, are set to see a drop of more than 25%. In contrast, the population of sub-Saharan Africa is anticipated to triple over the course of the century. The research said to 3.07 billion in 2021, up from the estimated level of 1.03 billion in 2017. North Africa and the Middle East are the only regions predicted to have a larger population in 2021. When compared to 2017, this important research is a future we need to plan for urgently. Richard Horton, the editor-in-chief of The Lancet, said in a press release. That's why I was saying, back in the day, y'all, I would have these conversations, and of course, there's people, because their numbers aren't growing, don't want to hear this kind of stuff. And their answer to this was, yeah, but we'll still have all the money. Technically, no, you won't. No, you won't. When the population shifts, so will all of the assets. That's going to shift too. If you are dying out, who are you going to pass this to for real? You're not going to have anybody to pass it to. Your numbers are going to be so diminished. And see, I think what they're doing is trying to compare it to South Africa. Well, South Africa is not the globe. That's a stupid comparison, actually. South Africa is not the globe. And even those numbers are declining. Did it ever dawn on you that among the white population in South Africa, that their numbers are declining too? Duh. Woo, but I guess that's what a high IQ will do for you. Okay, so it offers a vision for radical shifts in geopolitical power, challenges myths about immigration, and underlines the importance of protecting and strengthening the sexual and reproductive rights of women. Africa and the Arab world will shape our future, while Europe and Asia will recede in their influence. Horton continued. By the end of the century, the world will be multipolar, with India, Nigeria, China, and the US the dominant power. This will truly be a new world, one we should be preparing for today. The research uses data from the Global Burden of Disease Study 2017, also warns of huge shifts in the global age structure. It expects people over 80 to outnumber under 5. So any children under 5 will be outnumbered by people in their 80s by 2 to 1 by 2100. As fertility falls, life expectancy increases worldwide. To be sure, the study forecasts the number of children under 5 to decline by 41% to 401 million in 2100, down from 681 million in 2018. Meanwhile, the number of people older than 81 is set to increase sixfold to 866 million from 141 million. Declining rates of work age population could lead to dramatic shift in the size of economies, the research said, with China set to replace the US with the world's largest gross domestic product by 2035. The US is expected to reclaim the top spot by 2098 if immigration continues to sustain the country's workforce. As China sees a rapid population decline from 2050 onward, India is thought to be one of the few, if only, major powers in Asia that will protect its working age population over the course of the century. As a result, it is forecast to rise up the GDP rankings to third from seventh. At the same time, sub-Saharan Africa is touted to become an increasingly powerful continent on the geopolitical stage as its population rises. Nigeria is singled out since it is expected to be the only country among the 10 most populated nations to see its working age population grow through 2100, supporting rapid economic growth as it surges into ninth in the global GDP ranks, up from 23rd in 2017. The UK, Germany, and France are expected to remain in the top 10 for largest GDP worldwide at the turn of the century, while Italy, Spain are projected to fall to 25th and 28th, respectively, reflecting much greater population decline. The positive impacts of migration on health and economies are known globally, but the choice we face is whether we improve health and wealth by allowing planned population movement, or if we end up with an underclass of imported labor and unstable societies, he added. Well, the populations that are still growing, they're going to be dominating. I mean, let's be real. These little countries that are losing their population, you're not going to be dominating anything. I mean, come on, be real. And why would people look to certain countries for guidance at this point anyway? Just look, if you want to know how good a country is, just look at how they're handling COVID. Seriously. Would you go back to those countries looking for help or anything, money or anything? No, you're going to have to find your own way and live without whatever they got. That's really the best advice. Start weaning yourself off of these countries and start depending more on yourselves. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this global fertility rate that's changing. And they're saying people need to plan for these changes because the countries that are dominating now are not going to be dominating as we go into the future. Their domination days are practically over now. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace. family.